Greg Saravalli is here, but joining us to start Radio Week on the left, Nick McElwain from WMMR's Preston and Steve show. Casey Foss-Benner.
What's up, Holmes?
You didn't think I knew the last name, man.
Yeah, well,
what's up with that, huh?
It's not my real last name.
It's not? Oh, it's
no,
not? Oh,
Foster.
Oh, yeah.
Foster.
Radio Week.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, okay. It's Radio Week.
Right, though.
Yeah, McElwain's good. Okay, quick six. Number one. What is your greatest sports memory, Casey?
I hit a home run off my best friend, Jeff Gibson, in my last farm league at bat, with a wooden bat, by the way.
Wow. Have you seen the questions beforehand?
No.
Number two, Nick, the best sports-related guest you've ever had on Preston and Steve show.
Cal Ripken Jr., mostly because I insulted him in the middle of the interview, but I got to ask him about a pitch being grooved down at the All-Star game a few years back. I said he knew that the pitch was coming and he knew there was going to be a fastball, and he hit the home run, and he kind of challenged me on it, and Cal's a big guy, but he was really cool about it, and afterwards, I got a photo with him, and he's a legend, he's Cal Ripken Jr.
It's 15 seconds per response. Casey, number three, you went to O'Hara. The most recent O'Hara alum to make the NFL is?
Kevin Smith.
Close. Foss-Benner.
I have no idea.
Kevin Jones.
Kevin Jones, sorry.
Me and Kevin.
Both played for the Lions, though.
Number four, Nick Man, who's your favorite all-time athlete?
Eric Lindros, because he transformed hockey in this town, and he made the Flyers season ticket holders buy season tickets again. And I'm a huge Flyers fan.
Close second, Greg Louganis, right?
Greg Louganis is number two.
Eric Lindros.
Yeah.
And
You said quick answers.
Okay, it's good. Casey, number five.
All right.
What's the weirdest stunt you've done for the Preston and Steve show that you can tell us about in a family program?
Well, you know what? Right across the street over here at the Spectrum,
Yeah.
I got dragged behind a Zamboni on the ice, just wearing a
Undergarment.
A jock
Yeah. Strap.
strap. Yeah.
What you call it?
I don't know, man. I can say this stuff on radio, but
that's
like
an
TV
athletic-
is.
It's an athletic
Yeah,
show. You can
yeah.
say jockstrap.
Jockstrap.
With a cup. Number six. This is good. Nick, and we'll let Casey in on this one, too. After Preston versus Steve. Who wins in a street fight?
Greg Louganis. You know what? We got that instant message. I'm not kidding. That very same instant message on the radio program this morning. Who would win in a fight, Preston versus Steve? We brought it up. I say Preston only because he's been training in Krav Maga lately.
Yep.
The Israeli art of self-defense.
That's correct. And I think 6 years ago, Steve, hands down. Today, Preston.
Wow. Steve just got up and he's going over
Yes.
to
I
know.
Preston's
I
house.
know.
Really?
Preston is in great shape, man.
But Steve is built like a...
I know. I should show you a video of what Preston can do. He's a green. He's a green belt. He's a green belt.
We're not in the morning.
right.
Okay, this is 5 p.m.
I know.
5 a.m.
It is way too bright in here. Can we do something about these lights, by the way?
Do I have my sunglasses?
Same sense of humor at 5:30 in the morning as at 5:30 at night.
All right, how much sports chatter do you do in an average week on WMMR?
I think it depends on how big the sports news is that week. I mean, we'll talk about Donovan tomorrow because of what happened today. We'll talk about what happened in the game tonight, tomorrow morning. We'll talk about the Phils when they're in the playoffs, but it's not every day. But
if it's not on the air, it's definitely something that him and I talk about first thing in the morning, without a doubt. Yep.
And you stay up and watch the game tonight?
Yes.
The whole
That's
thing.
what I was going to say. Is it hard to stay up? I mean, you guys have to get up. What time do you get up? 3?
4 o'clock is when the alarm goes off, and then you hit snooze a few times. But
5 o'clock.
Yeah, that's the trade-off. I love the job, and I just don't get a whole lot of sleep during the week because I stay up and watch the games.
Yeah, and I won't go to a Monday night football game anymore, or a Sunday night game, or a Thursday night game. I just can't do it. I love going to games, but on a school night, can't do it.
I say your show is top rated, is among the most listened to in the Philadelphia area.
Universe.
That's what I meant. You had a special guest on today, probably the most, the greatest guest you've ever had.
Michael Barkan.
Oh my goodness! Is
There
that
he
me?
is.
I didn't mean that.
Mike, you're always a great guest.
There's Kathy Romano. There's Steve in the distance there with the guns blazing, and there's like a live audience in there as well. It's a lot of fun. It's like a constant performance, ongoing, all the time. And I'm wondering how do you, when you think of the show, when you formulate the show every morning, who does that and And what's the first thing you're trying to do?
Yeah, we all do. I mean, Casey and I book the guests for the show. Casey books a lot of them, and I book many of them as well. But it's all about what's happening in our lives. It's about what we want to talk about the next day. It's what's happening in Philly, what's happening around the world. So it's just you sort of have an idea as to what you might talk about the next day, but it's never scripted. You know, we never figure out exactly what we're going to talk about because it's more fun that way, and we laugh at Steve a lot more that way because he's so quick. He's lightning fast.
Yeah, a lot of planning goes into the loose nature of the show.
Right.
Yeah, so we talk, in fact, we got to go in like 6 minutes because we got a conference call at 6 o'clock.
Works
where we
out
talk about,
perfectly.
what happened in the news today, you know, guests that we have coming up for tomorrow and all that sort of stuff.
All
and
right,
then,
let's talk a little sports.
All right.
Okay, little bit. What are you thinking tonight? How's this going to work?
Well,
Let's try to be objective.
No,
you know what I mean?
By the way, the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl this year. They are. But, you know, I was reading Les Bowen's column, and he had the Eagles winning, which I think is going to happen, but he had it 23-20.
Yeah.
First of all, the Redskins are not going to score 20 points, and the Eagles are not going to score under 30 points. That's how I feel. They're just a dominant team, unless, of course, they commit too many penalties.
Right.
But I just don't see the Redskins being able to stall the Eagles' offense.
The penalties. Go ahead, Frank. The penalties have been an issue.
Yeah, sorry. Talk to us a little bit about the Flyers. Where do you think they're going to finish, and do you think how far do they go in the playoffs?
Well, it's November, you know, so, I mean, who knows? But they're, in my mind, this is one of the best starts that they've ever had, you know, and it's great to see a rookie goalie play as well as this guy's playing for us, coming out of nowhere. I read your column today about what happens when Leighton comes back. That's a big decision that needs to be made, but top to bottom, they're complete, they're strong, they're fast, they're fun to watch. Guys like Giroux and Carter and Richards, they're all really, really skilled. And Bobrovsky's just been such a great, pleasant surprise for us. If he holds up, who stops them from going to the finals, or at least the conference finals? Maybe Washington, maybe Pittsburgh, but I like their chances.
What do you think Preston, Steve, Kathy, and Marissa are saying right now watching this?
Oh, they're laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they find...
Well, Marissa's sleeping right now.
Right.
Yeah.
But they find every little glitch, every error that we've made, every misstep, and then we'll play those back tomorrow morning.
I think when they see the jacket and tie, I think, oh my goodness.
Man,
Good,
That's what you used to wear no hat.
I don't tie a tie like that.
That's
but,
a Windsor knot.
That's crisp. All right, so, back to the Eagles, and Frank, you throw in some Flyers as well, but I'm just curious what your thoughts are on the McNabb. It's not Eagles, but they're playing the Redskins tonight. McNabb gets a 5-year, $78 million extension, $40+ million of it guaranteed.
Good for him.
Yeah, one of the first things I thought was, wow, he wants to play football for another 5 years. You know, I got to say, you know, kudos to him for that. Is he worth it? I don't think so. But, you know, hey, if somebody wants to pay him that money, go right ahead, and I'd be more than happy to play him twice a year.
Yeah.
They got 4 wins this year. None of their wins, in none of their wins have they had more than 20 points. You know, they're not a very dominant offensive team. He is kind of the offense, and he's got Chris Cooley and not much else after that. You know, so I mean, they struggle. But they're an above mediocre team in a conference that, if you're above mediocre, you can get pretty far in the playoffs. So, you know, I'm happy for the guy. I'm glad that he doesn't have to make that decision in the offseason. And it will be fun to continue to talk about him twice a year.
And the Redskins are going to have to do a couple of things after this season. They're going to have to get themselves another quarterback to, you know, to take over after McNabb is done. And they're going to have to, because they're a running team, their Mike Shanahan team, is Ryan Terrain their guy? Is Clinton Portis? You know, he's a little long in the tooth, so they got to get a running back too.
You guys amazed by the stupidity of Daniel Snyder? I mean, that guy's hemorrhaging money like Citibank.
I want to play in a fantasy football league with Dan Snyder, first of all. And he plays, he owns the team as if it's like Madden football, you know? Like he takes these guys and he gets the names first without even looking to see if they can still play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still reflecting back on your Eric Lindros.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
Yeah.
Well, you could go with like Mike Schmidt or some Julius Irving. I meant Julius. Doc.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
But like for what he did for the town when I was coming of age as a, you know.
Good point.
All right.
Good point. There are a lot of young.
It's my call, man.
It is.
I
It
know
is
it's
your call.
show.
I'm sorry. No. It's your show.
Okay.
I'm just a squirrel in your world, trying to grab a nut. That's all there is to it. Final moments left. You think the Eagles come out on top tonight?
I do, but you know, watch out for Donovan. I mean, he had 2 weeks off. He's probably going to be a little upset after what happened in the last game for those guys. But it's amazing what a win over the Colts Colts will do for a team's confidence. So the Eagles are going to come in. Vic has no interceptions this year. He's looking great. And we get to see, you don't get to see it a lot this season, but Deshaun and Shady McCoy and Vic all playing at the same time, which would be pretty great. So I like the Eagles' chances tonight.
Casey Foss-Benner. That's what JoJo told me in the hall.
I know,
okay?
I know. Here's the deal. Brent Selleck, 3 touchdowns tonight.
Get out of here.
Brent Selleck.
He's on tomorrow.
I'm starting him in
He's
my
on
fantasy
here
football.
tomorrow.
Oh, yes?
Yes.
Play this back for him tomorrow after he scores 3 touchdowns.
Deshaun Jackson as well tomorrow.
Deshaun Jackson.
How does he do tonight? Because he did not have a good game last time because Vic went down.
Right.
15 seconds left.
Deshaun's going to get us in touchdown territory, and Brent's he's gonna lay down the hammer.
Brent was at a party that we had on Friday night, and Susie Selleck was there as well, and so Casey's trying to.
We're best friends.
We got to go faster or longer than you thought it would be.
It's over?
It's over.
That's it?
Man, when does the governor get here?
Frank, go. The governor. Stay for the gov.
All right.
Thanks to
Casey,
Frank.
cheers.
Thanks to
How you
DJ. Thanks to all of our guests. Thanks to Casey and Nick. Coming up, Wells Fargo Sports Night. Thanks. Good night.